So, okay, a few more of you join. So let's warmly welcome Ikshvaku Prabhu on this rainy day. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for being here in this lovely weather. I think for some of you this is normal, but people, tropical creatures, it's a bit harsher. Okay, so for these next 3 days, we will delve into the world of conflict. I know that doesn't sound too appealing, but after the different discussions that we had with Maharaj and the great expectations that are there for you to do great projects for the pleasure of Prabhupada and for the benefit of the world. Conflict is essential. Conflict resolution is essential in order for us to achieve whatever we want to achieve. And in many areas also. I just heard the report from this morning class. Everyone attended the morning class, or you were here doing the Bhagavatam discussion? Bhakti Charu Maharaj, somebody just called me because I told them that I will do the conflict resolution seminar this morning. They told me that Maharaj, Bhakti Charu Swami gave a class and he pointed out that Maya cannot touch the devotees. Kali Yuga cannot influence the devotees. That was his statement. But the only way that Maya enters is through conflict. And by conflict, he weakens the devotees because we commit offenses, we become discouraged, etc. And then Maya enters and does her work. So then he said that every community that wants to grow spiritually needs to be able to address conflict. Right? Is that clear? Is that people are hearing?
Yes.
Louder. Okay. Good. All right. So is everyone comfortable? Yes. I think that this group here cannot see. All right. So we're going to delve right into it. As I said, the idea is that every morning we will have these sessions in conflict resolution specifically. We have some material coming for you, but because of the weather and because this is how things are done in India, everything takes a little longer, harder. Somebody says 9:30, that means 10:30, but rather 11. That's the way that we work here. So we have some material, but again, as we discussed with Maharaj, we rather have a training package that is designed by yourself. Alright, so you're going to have a very participative role in this. Because the idea is that you walk away from these 3 days training sessions with something that you're going to use. And everyone deals with conflict differently. Everyone experiences conflict differently. Thus, we need a, how can we say, customized tools and skills in order to use it whenever you find conflict. All right? Okay, so we will divide these 3 sessions. First of all, we will have an intro into conflict, the conflict world, and what does it mean? What does it mean for you? How do you approach conflict? What is your understanding of conflict? And then we will see different areas, basic areas of communication skills. I know that you just ended the communication skills done by Anuttama Prabhu, and Maharaj warned me, don't overdo it, don't go over it again, repetition, because now you're, expert communicators. After Anuttama Prabhu, I attended his course, so I know his course quite well. So we don't want to overload you with information. So we will try to make it as practical, interactive, realistic, etc. All right. And at the end, towards the end, or middle of the 3 days course, we will provide some tools. And then we'll do some role plays and pairs and different things like that. Maybe some drama, depends on how the dynamic of the group goes. All right, so let's get into it. I think someone is there about to enter. I don't know, just want to... Okay. No? Okay. All right, welcome to the Conflict Resolution Training Seminar. One thing that I want to warn you is that this is not a lecture, or this is not a preaching session where I tell you about the hundreds, if not thousands of times where Prabhupada says that we shouldn't fight. You must have heard it many times. Don't quarrel, etc. I'm just going to bring one quote, and that's it. So don't expect too many philosophical points and obscure words, and I will dissect them in Sanskrit and what else. We're just going to try to make it quite practical. This is a skills-based training. As I said, I expect you to participate. I will ask you different questions. If you don't feel comfortable participating or disclosing or sharing, that's okay. You can say, no, I'm not willing to share. That's okay. We agree to disagree. But the idea is that we make it real. That's basically the point. All right, so conflict. This interesting word. What does it mean for you? When you see this word, what sort of feelings, emotions, thoughts come to your mind? Drama. Okay.
Disagreements.
Disagreements. Yes. Relationships. Great. Great.
Energy.
Energy.
Friction.
Friction. Conflict. When the word conflict comes, fighting. Thank you. Honesty. Yes. What else? Disappointment. Okay. Inconvenience. Yeah. Anything else?
Opposing ideas.
Opposing ideas. Differences. Okay. As you can see, we can be very theoretical, very philosophical. For the last few days I have been hearing, honest, hearing different presentations on conflict resolution by Bhakti Tirtha Swami with Russian translations. And Radhanath Swami, and you know their level, they changing the world with their words. But I'm not that, so don't expect that. I don't want to repeat that, but it's always good to hear that. But what I was trying to say is that sometimes we can be very philosophical or theoretical about conflict. But I want to hear from you if you like conflict. Who here in this room likes conflict? You like conflict. I had a sense that you like conflict.
It depends.
Depends.
Sometimes it's not.
Conditional. Yeah? It's conditional. Alright. Okay. So most of us, large majority of us, we don't like conflict, don't we? Yes?
Yes.
We don't like conflict, right? Okay. Why we don't like conflict? Okay. Now, let's not talk about conflict in the world. Let's not talk about conflict in the, Middle East or Iraq or one of those places. Let's talk about conflict in our life. Okay, we're going to make it real. Sorry, my background is mental health counseling, so I'm just going to dig a little deep there. Why we don't like conflict in our life? Mate, you have her hand.
At the end of the fight, both sides slam the doors, go away, and both sides lose.
Yeah, we can have a movie there, yeah? Okay. Because at the end of the fight, so conflict is equated to fight now. Everyone slams the door, walk away, hurt, resented, etc. Yeah? Okay. Mate, you put your hand up.
Because in the conflict, it means that you have to go out to your zone of the comfort, and it means that you have to open up things that are more deeper than external, and not always people are willing to do it, and it may bring you to vulnerable position, which is close to some pain. So it's like growing through a pain, and usually you don't like it.
All right. So conflict brings up painful.
Something bad, but it's not the main thing, because it means that you have to grow out of something that you're used to. You have to accept somebody else. It means you have to move out your ego a little bit.
Right.
So all these things that are a little bit inconvenient.
All right. A little bit inconvenient. Okay. Sometimes a lot inconvenient.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's confronting.
It's confronting. It's confronting. Yeah. Out of the comfort zone, as Matthew was saying. Yeah, it's confronting. Cool.
Maybe it's also related to out of comfort zones. Maybe there's not enough tools to deal with the conflict.
Great.
It's like, yeah, I would go in it, but I don't know how.
All right.
So I try
Okay.
to avoid it.
Right. So let's say the basic, at least from what you're presenting, is that it's uncomfortable because we're not used to it, or because we don't have the tools, you said, right? Because we're not used to it.
Usually I heard the like proverb that's in Polish language, but I will translate it. It is like a little psychological. If you asking other party what do you really want, what do you expect or whatever, and the other party is not swearing, whatever is not swearing, it doesn't matter so much, and you should ask yes, besides that, and besides that.
Okay. All right.
To open
So
the
something
second
needs-
door, because we are, when it's the conflict, we are usually working on the artificial platform, let's say,
Right.
at the beginning, let's say.
Right.
Open the second door, let's say, of the
Okay.
another door is like a little difficult.
Right. What I understand from that is that what is the real conflict? Sometimes we think that the real conflict is the noise that the neighbors are doing, or the way that Prabhu is looking at me, or the way that Mata is dressed, or whatever. But sometimes the real conflict is deeper than that. So besides that, besides our skin color difference, or besides our ethnic background, or besides our height or position, works. What is the real problem here? What is the real issue? Yes, great stuff. Okay, Mate?
I think conflict is a lot related to how you perceive something. It's more inside than outside.
Okay. Conflict has to do with the way we see things.
Yep.
Okay, Mate?
I want to add that conflicts feel energy, and you still to be concentrated on the actual things that you are going to do. So it is always in your mind.
So, I didn't get you. So, conflict
Yes, they feel energy.
heals.
Yes.
All right, okay, heals energy. It's a negative. Very nice way to put it. It's a way of killing positive energy. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Just want to make it quite. Are you in your beer or just? Yes.
Everything must be perfect.
Everything must be perfect.
Right.
Right. So.
That's why I don't like conflicts.
Okay, that's all right. Martin.
I find sometimes conflict can be a good thing, because in my experience with service, sometimes Krishna sends me some conflict to really test my level of devotion in my life. Sometimes I can really benefit from that, because it makes me hanker, to want to do the right thing. And some people have their own agendas, and they're not so much considering what the best thing in the big picture might be for Krishna and for everything, so I think it can be both a good and bad thing.
Okay. So Mati is giving it a very philosophical and spiritual twist to the whole encounter with conflict. Could be that Krishna is sending you that conflict, and then it helps you to reflect in advance. I mean, it comes to mind the verse from Mother Kunti, bring more and more conflict. Vipasha to Prabhu.
Speaking in terms of energy, it's also kind of like a blockage, and then when you deal with the conflict, then you can let the energy flow, and then everything's perfect. So
Right. Good. Okay. So great contributions.
The conflicts come also when there's lack of empathy or trying to understand the other person.
Lack of.
From the side
Yes.
of the person, trying to seek out the other person in the field.
Yeah. Okay. So interesting stuff. Energy, blockage, spiritual. Right? Okay. So there are a few things that we can define conflict as. First of all, conflict is practically unavoidable. It's there. It will be there. Right? The only thing that can change is how we address conflict or how can we resolve conflict. Thus, this training of conflict resolution, which is a small contribution to encourage you to become more and more aware of conflict all around us, and particularly the way that you, specifically you, deal with conflict. So, what do you think are the main causes of conflict in general? Huh? False ego? Yeah?
Different ways of perceiving things.
Different ways of perceiving things. Bro.
Miscommunication.
Miscommunication, right? I think they have a conflict between these two coming up. Okay. Miscommunication, what else? Misunderstandings, what else? Different ways of addressing what you want, what you need. Anything else? What are, you think, the main conflicts in your life? Let's not talk again about the world, just think about you, whatever conflicts you go through. What are the main causes that you generally end up in conflict?
I'd say it's very easy to see on the example of mother and child. Child has his own desires,
Right.
and mother has her own desires. The child project on the child. And the child cannot agree with his desires because these desires only belong to the child, and he wants to fulfill his own desires. The mother cannot understand why the child is acting this or that way.
Alright.
Then this might, for example,
So, we don't understand other people's desires. Alright. Anything else about this? Different way of thinking. Different way of thinking about what?
Special topics, some different understanding of one special thing.
Right. Okay. Different way of thinking about different things. Basically, just to make it simple, because these sort of things can take long hours, long days, but we just want to make it quite practical. Basically, there are two things. One is needs. We have different needs. That's one, right? And because there are different ways of trying to satisfy those needs, there's conflict. That's like the very generic definition or identification of the causes of conflict. Right? You don't have to agree 100% with this one. It's a suggestion from the research. Basically, our needs and the way and our beliefs of how do we address or how do we try to satisfy those needs. Okay? If you remembered in the preface of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada says humanity now is wanting for unity. That's why there is no peace. Because we want something that common cause. And because people have different ideas of that common cause, there's war. The preface, 1.5 pages, Prabhupada explains that. Alright. Basically, what Mate said, it's very accurate. It's difference about different areas. These are the main areas that generally we disagree on. Practically every conflict, every disagreement that we have has to be included in one of these areas. If there's anything else you may contribute. spiritual, right? Emotional, physical, and social. Right? Now, if we want to get into it, you have a whole science, psychological, can get into this area, then our line is very much spiritual, but even amongst spiritualists, there are conflicts. We are no exception. ISKCON is no exception. For some of you who know the history of ISKCON, we have had a lot of conflict along the way. Right? And I'm sure that your yatras, wherever you come from, I'm sure that there is some area of conflict in that yatra. If not the yatra as a whole, at least some individuals. And I'm sure that you yourself had experienced some level of conflict in some of these areas, if not are experiencing